We scarred from the streets, that's the mark of the beast. Thou shalt not covet or running your charm and your peace. I'm heartless. The black market should be marketed me.
Hoping that if he uses the same formula, his disc will have the same impact. But he's wrong. Very, very wrong.
That's a fact. He said, hold on, if I use the same intro, then it might come off. We got everything wrong with Nick Cannon's canceled invitation, the Eminem diss. Ladies and gentlemen, you know we've done the everything wrong with the invitation, everything wrong with pray for him, and now we got everything wrong with what's your name? Canceled invitation. Let's get right into it. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe. I upload every day, sometimes twice. Just saying. Slime Shady EP coming soon. Ready, set, go. I already forgot the speakers. Hold on. Gotta get the speakers right. Gotta get the speakers right. My bad. Hold up, I'm trying to get it fast. Don't even trip. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Run that back. Everything wrong with Nick Cannon's canceled invitation. Nick. Let's go. You tried.
The invitation's canceled.
A third diss track response, despite there not being a diss track to respond to. I feel like Nick is just...
Off tops. Hold on, make sure the microphone right. Last time my mic was a little shaky. Make sure everything right. Off tops. I think that's 3 sins. That should count as 3. Because it was 3 different songs. And there wasn't a response. What was Nick thinking?
Trying to find a sneaky way to get Eminem to sing one of Mariah Carey's songs without him actually wanting to. 1 minute and 54 seconds of Nick Cannon playing clips of Eminem dissing him and Mariah in various songs, accompanied by Dr. Dre's voice saying, "Here's what they think about you."
Yeah, off tops. This one deserves a clip full of sins. This one deserves 16 and 1 in a hole. Because that opening minute and a half of Cancel Him, by the way, if you haven't seen my reaction, it's the video right before this one, so go check it out on my, videos. If not, I'm gonna link it at the end, in that little box at the end. So stay tuned for that. When the boxes pop up, I'm gonna link my Lord Above Screwed Up. Make sure we get that to 50,000. I'm just saying. And then I'm gonna put that up there too. But yeah, that was horrible. That was horrible.
27 times.
There we go. Yup, gave him the clip full. Yup.
Oh yeah, it ain't over, motherfucker.
Nick copies the intro to Ice Cube's No Vaseline, hoping that if he uses the same formula, his disc will have the same impact. But he's wrong. Very, very wrong.
That's a fact. He said, hold on, if I use the same intro, then it might come off. Shout out to Nick. We ain't gonna, listen, we are gonna dog Nick because that was, what was that? But, like I always say, everybody who hopped in the ring and actually fought back, at least they fought back. I appreciate them because there'd be some people who get their name mentioned, head for the hills on them. And like I always say, you can't be a great until you have, I think, at least 1 battle under your belt. All the greats, if you think about it, had 1 under their belt. That's all I'm saying. And I'm not saying Nick Cannon's a great, but in his own right he is. Just not really with music. But like, come on, Americans, but come on, he does his fizzle. Come on, man. Y'all gonna act like Drumline wasn't a part of your childhood? That's what you gonna act like? Oh, because y'all knew. Y'all knew. Okay.
Nick changes the pitch of Eminem's voice to avoid copyright issues, yet he copyright claimed my video on his song when I did the exact same thing to avoid copyright issues. So 5 sins, fuck you. Nick has a...
I'm gonna let you cook with that one. I wasn't liking that he was claiming it either. Well, I mean, it is what it is, But what I do respect about Nick is I guess he isn't claiming this last one, this whatever this one's called, canceled invitation because he ain't claimed mine. And I appreciate that, Nick. You had to get that off of the culture. I appreciate that. I know you probably couldn't because you had a gang of Eminem stuff in it. But
We run out of ideas to diss Eminem on, so he pulls the race card and tries way too hard at it. Black power fist in the background? Check. Sporting a sweatshirt of a historically all-black college? Check. Theoretical book about how white people are naturally supremacists and subconsciously hate black people due to their genetically inferior DNA? Check. I understand race is an easy approach to take in a diss battle when it's two different races, but Eminem of all people, has he seen his entourage? Dr. Dre, 50 Cent, Royce the 5'9", Crooked I, Jay-Z, Proof, all of D12? I'm pretty sure Em is more respect in the black community than Nick Cannon ever.
that's a bar. I ain't gonna hold you. That's a fact. That's a fact. We are not gonna act like Nick Cannon has always been the most respect. Like, and here's the thing: is like, as a black person, it's not that we don't. There's no disrespect to Nick, but when it comes to like respect on a mic, respect in the hip hop culture, I think M got you on that one, Nick. I think he got you on that one, just slightly, not really slightly, but he got you on that one. I think most rappers, most lyricists, most people of the culture would say, who is more of the culture, Nick Cannon or Eminem? And most people are going to be like, well, Nick Cannon, even if you're going to say he's a musician, his music don't even break through the same underground as M does. Literally, his music is more for, if he's going to make music, it's probably going to play in front of America's best dance. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know he doesn't do that anymore, but I'm just saying, even Nick's demographic is probably not much less, how do I say this? There's probably not that many more black people in Nick Cannon's buying demographic. Maybe now, because he's been the super pro black stuff, but up in his career, he wasn't always like this.
Well, Nick then smirkingly flashes this page from the ISIS papers. The book itself is a very pro-black movement that equates white skin as an albino deformity of black skin, but on this page specifically, it shows symbols of male genitalia and a gun, and in this book, the author talks about how white people subconsciously use guns as symbols to make up for their smaller penises. Penises. It's a cool idea and all, and almost a really good diss, but this is a theoretical, opinionated book that has several holes in its plot. It says some pretty outlandish things about white people and their subconscious and how people of color can't be racist, and changes the term of racism completely from the scientific definition. It's a very one-sided argument book that fits in Nick's narrative perfectly. It would be like Eminem responding holding a book that talks about how black people are subconsciously doing something in reference to white people because that's the author's specific belief system. It's a very interesting read though, but it shows how Nick is trying way too hard to make this a race issue.
If Nick could have lyrically done this, that my problem ain't even bringing it up. My problem ain't even the theory. My problem is how he did it in the battle. If maybe he would have flipped it and freaked it in a way lyrically that it would have hit, then maybe it would have landed. But you can't just because I'll keep it a bug. This is my first time seeing the video. You can't just flash that whole. None of this landed on me. I saw the audio, so you can't do visual bars.
For this video.
You've been disrespecting our queens for years.
Gigolo is literally about fucking as many women as possible, where you repeatedly call them hoes multiple times.
Matter of fact, why don't you tell them how you really feel, Marshall?
Black girls are bitches. Black girls are dumb. Nick Cannon plays a clip from Eminem's 1988 song Foolish Pride and attempts to paint an Eminem as racist narrative, despite Ray Benzano doing this exact same thing in 2003.
Eminem claimed he had made the tape out of anger, stupidity, and frustration after breaking up with an African-American girl.
By the way, this is off of the Beefs DVD. I know that voice. That's the voice of, what's my man's name? I can't think of his name. He was on Marked for Death. He was Steven Seagal's sidekick. If you know the name of that actor, he be doing voiceovers for a bunch of people. I think he was the voice of Spawn at a time, too. Put it in the comments section, because that dude is a legend. And I'm sure if you've ever watched any documentary in life, you heard his voice.
Although the scandalous nature of Eminem's lyrics have given Benzino and the Source a newfound support for their claims, perhaps the biggest revelation of the press conference was how bad Eminem was just 10 years ago, and how much he's improved since.
And We all saw how that ended for Ray Benzino.
If you was really selling coke, well then what the fuck you stopped for? Tell me, if you slew some crack, you'd make a lot more money than you do from rap.
Oh!
Nick thinks he just dropped a bombshell on the whole world when this song has literally been available to the public for over 16 years.
That's what I said too on my reaction. I was like, oh, you know Nick thought he had the body bag. He thought he had the body bag in the body bag. Shoddy blast. Pilates splash. He thought he had all that, but nah.
Anything, as shitty as it is, he made the song more catchy because the original song sucks, but he made this something you could bounce to. What are you doing, man? Eminem was 15 at the time of recording this song.
I ain't gonna lie to you. Nick's version, that shit was kind of a bop.
Said is horrific. Here's a clip of Crooked Eye talking about the situation if he was in the same shoes.
Bob.
When I heard what M said, I was like, you know what? He's just pissed.
This is mad quiet.
If I was fucking a white bitch at the time and she pissed me off, I'd be like, you fucking white bitch. That's just what I'm gonna do. He was like, yo, this black bitch, it's like, yo. He was pissed. He was in a fucking relationship with somebody. And we say things when we're pissed off. We might not agree with ourselves the next day. But guess what? We say things when we're pissed off. And us as musicians, we go into the booth. Yeah.
What I will say about that, though, is that's a little bit of a cop-out. Like I said in my reaction, go watch that after this if you haven't seen it. Like I said in my reaction, we're not gonna do anything to make what M said okay, right? And Benji, my bad. Where it doesn't affect me is the aftermath of that and what M has said and done since. I'm not one of those dudes who pulls up old tweets and stuff like that and be like, cancel him. I hate that. And even Nick Cannon hates that. You know what I mean? When they did it to Kevin Hart, he made a big thing about it. My thing is, where I disagree with Crooked Eye here is that you gotta understand though, bro, what you say on wax may be like putting it in concrete. So you are responsible for the stuff you say on wax. And you don't get a pass because you were an artist. And that goes for everybody. You can say whatever you want to say, but you must stand on it. And I get it. But I don't really agree with what Crooked Eye said right here.
And we spew what's on our minds. And I think
that's what'll get you messed up, though, in trouble.
Also, can we talk about how fucking hypocritical it is that Nick Cannon's bringing up something that happened over 30 years ago, and he's using it as a diss, but when it came to Kevin Hart tweeting out...
It's literally what I just said. I said that in my reaction, too.
Really fucked up shit like 10 years ago, he jumped straight to his defense on Twitter and argued with everyone.
Yeah, that's why I hated this.
Cannon's rap voice sound like his ad-libs right here. They're clear, they have bass to them, but when he starts to rap, it sounds like he's whispering again. What the fuck?
We let you be a guest in this house, but now you can't.
That's why I'm saying, what's up with his rapping voice? What is up with his rapping voice? He got a self-conscious rap voice. He got an insecure rap voice. Like, man, you can do it. I promise you can. Believe in it. You could sell your bars a lot more if it feel like you believed in it. Believe in your heart. I don't know.
Hey, more race baiting and Nick Cannon using somebody else's insults to insult Eminem. Get used to that. In all seriousness, Nick clearly knew this comment would get under Eminem's skin only because of the Lord Jamar interviews. Also, Nick claims Eminem is merely a guest in the House of Hip Hop, whilst Nick himself isn't even a neighbor on the same block. Also, Nick Cannon goes back to his normal ways of not rhyming a fucking thing.
Had to put my motherfucking turban on. Outside your motherfucking turban on.
What happened in the last 10 years or so that made Nick Cannon think this was the way to rap? Like, the whisper rap was the way to go? Because if you look back and listen to like Gigolo and Dime Piece and some of his earlier songs, he raps normally.
Protesting with AKs, guns. Queens don't need your racism.
For the life of me, I could not figure out what he was saying until I looked up the lyrics and realized he rhymed guns with racism. But he said
racism
to make it rhyme. Man, I wish Nick Cannon would stop fucking trying to rap.
KKK, this generation.
Hey, more race baiting. Get used to that. Also, what does that even mean? How is one person an entire group of this generation?
Yeah, man. Nick was freestyling, man. He had an idea. He tried it. He just didn't formulate it right. I ain't even mad. Oh
in
man.
this generation. That's like me saying Nick Cannon's the bad rapper of this generation. Like, there's plenty of bad rappers out there, despite how much we all hate him. Also, Nick ignores the multiple collaborations and collaborative albums with people of the African American descent, but no KKK.
Cause ain't no age for white race.
I would give.
See, here's the thing about the race angle, man. I would get if Eminem was some like super countryfied, super you never see him around black people, super. He ain't even like a Republican. That's the thing. I don't even get it. So it's like that's the weirdest person to call racist. And that man.
Somebody watching this right now, $100 if they can lip read and see what the fuck Nick Cannon was saying during this scene.
Cause ain't no age for white race.
I don't give a fuck his ass was young. Can't let that slide, that's on my son.
Yeah, God forbid Nick Cannon said some fucked up shit when he was younger. I once thought Nick Cannon was one of the greatest actors of all time because of Drumline, and then I got older and realized that I was fucking stupid.
He's a rap star. Run, nigga, run. Standing my ground. Fruit of Islam.
According to the Gospel Coalition for the Nation of Islam, a member of the Fruit of Islam is supposed to be respectful to all, regardless of color.
Read the ISIS paper, you racist. I see why you hate us.
Nick Cannon has literally brainwashed himself with this theoretical, opinionated book. Nick tells Eminem to read this book to see
The
that
ISIS papers? I ain't never even heard of
White
those.
people are subconsciously racist due to white supremacy. Therefore, he's always going to be racist. Despite his actual racist comments, he's still going to be racist no matter what.
Goddamn right, yeah, I'm on one.
Nick has spent a decent amount of bars referencing his Islamic faith, but then proceeds to casually drop God, which is an impermissible phrase in the Islamic faith and one of the worst things you can physically say in the religion.
Christopher Columbus.
I mean, technically, that's supposed to be one of the worst things you say in the Christian religion too. So it is what it is. Everybody does
Wish you
that.
discovered.
Nick does his best Yoda impression and says a sentence completely ass backwards. Hip hop wish you discovered.
Yeah.
Loretta, Asada, and Loretta.
What is going on here? Like, what is the point of this? Nick has become so enthralled with this race issue that he has forgotten why he's dissing Eminem in the first place.
Definitely
it's
forgot.
because he said he had no balls, in case you forgot.
Lord Jamal told your ass you wasn't guessing our house. I'm trying to find out who the fuck let this pest in our house.
Lord Jamar also said that women in rap aren't real rap, which is super disrespectful to the queens of hip-hop, and it's literally half of the reason you're dissing Eminem for, so where's that Lord Jamar diss track at, man? Also, how many
Yeah,
people
that's a
are
bar.
there
Crip hit you.
out there saying that Eminem is in your top 5, yet you're calling him a pest right here?
Yeah,
Like,
Crip
get
hit.
the
That was the body blow right there. That's the problem with this Nick Cannon thing. I'm not mad at the angle. I'm not mad at the race stuff. I'm mad at the like hypocrisy and how like he couldn't have fully thought this out. Could he have? There's no way. Because he's done so much stuff to contradict what he's saying.
I'm assuming you didn't listen to it. I didn't. I haven't heard it. But I still Eminem's in my top 5.
My number 1, Pop, hands down. My number 2, Eminem.
Oh, so you put M over Biggie? Oh yeah. 100 sins. 100 sins. 100 sins on Nick Cannon for putting M above Biggie and then saying that M is whack. That's good. And that was Turbin Nick that said that, so that wasn't that long ago.
You may not remember this, but I do recall you having a battle of sorts with the likes of one of the greatest wordsmiths / rappers known to man in Eminem.
Yeah.
You heard him. This is how you feel about us. We just gonna keep letting that ride.
Well, everybody else heard it 16 years ago, and you've been letting it ride since, so I don't see why he wouldn't let it go on a little bit more. Also,
Yeah,
we
Kurt
gotta
kinda
remind you,
bodied
it
him a
was
little
30 years ago! Also, in the song, Eminem said black girls are bitches, and black...
Yeah, and the things that kills me, Nick, is I mean, you clearly had Eminem in your top 5 after you knew about this. So that's why I'm saying, and maybe if this was a different person hitting M with this stuff, then it would hit a little bit more.
Girls are dumb, and then Nick says, you heard what he says about us, so is Nick admitting to being a girl right now?
Read the ISIS paper, you racist. I see why you hate us.
Black girls are bitches. Black girls are dumb.
This is the second pre-chorus and the third chorus, and Nick says more words in the pre-chorus than he does in his actual verses, and Eminem says more words than Nick Cannon altogether.
Oh yeah, the hopping, bobbing, all them other house Negroes that keep defending this motherfucker. Holla at me. I got some books you should read.
Nick says anybody supporting Eminem because he's white is now considered an Uncle Tom. And I know a lot of people who are not going to be happy about this one.
Oh, and Marshall.
That's a fact.
Invitation. An Invitations canceled.
In Eminem's defense, you didn't give him an actual date to come on the show, and you can't RSVP to something that doesn't have an actual date. Also, this reminds me of this clip from South Park.
Where you guys? I'm going home.
I like that one. I like to.
I wrote you, but you still ain't calling.
Yeah, I can't play the rest of that for copyright issues. Ah, man. That was a good one.